Good afternoon, members of council. I never really enjoy coming here because I always feel like it's to tell you the things that I feel like you're doing wrong. I wish there were less things that you were doing wrong.
For the record, state your name.
You want to state it for me?
No,
Israel Chavez.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is for Mr. Reyes, so he can look this up later, but I want to make sure that you know that Colonias Development Council versus Rhino Environmental Services is a Supreme Court case in which the government was required to take public comment. Now again, the city went around town and solicited public comment of members of the public, and I showed up to that. And the city seems to have decided that it's going to completely ignore that public comment. It's going to do an entirely new list of things it decided to do with the money that it is basically stolen from the public in the increase in gross receipts. The proposed training center that you all want to do didn't even make the top 10. And all of the things that the public came out and asked for is not being prioritized. The city has to prioritize those things. So I'm coming to request you do that, but I'm also coming to warn you that if you don't, I have nothing better to do than make your lives very difficult legally. And I'm sure I can find members of the public who will speak later who would like to hold the city accountable for not recognizing the public input that was put into those sessions. And so just to take a little bit from that case, that New Mexico governments, when they are required to take public comment, should closely consider that information, and I quote from the case, relating to the community's quality of life. That's what you asked for in your public comments. That's directly from the Rhino Services case. The community should always be afforded a reasonable opportunity to provide its input in projects, and, as was required in the Rhino Environmental Services case, quote, that the community be given a voice and the concerns of the community be considered in the final decision-making. It appears to me that the city has decided to bypass final decision-making. It is required to take that public comment, and if it does not, then there will be consequences and accountability, because it appears to me that the legislative branch of this government is unwilling to hold accountable the, in my view, feckless and somewhat useless executive branch of the city. And if the council won't do it, the council won't hold its executive branch to account because either it is unable or unwilling, then the public will. We have the means. Just because your third branch of government is a municipal court that you've sort of shunted off to upstairs doesn't mean that we can't use district court. And it would be my view that if the city continues to ignore the public, then the public will take those actions needed. You can chew your lip all you want, Mayor. You have to listen to me, and I hope you will.